Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, my friends. The Terry Bogard trailer has finally dropped. And this is a pretty good one. We got a bunch of little Easter eggs, some of which already just happened. And the gameplay itself, well, it's some pretty good stuff. Terry Bogard is the ultimate version of himself, to the point where Terry, as far as this trailer is going and some of the stuff we now know about him, they're letting him break the rules of Street Fighter. Which, hey, fitting enough. You know, Terry's not from round these parts. He comes from, you know, the different end of town, right? So some of the usual rules of how fighting games work, at least for Street Fighter, Terry can bend them just a little bit. Terry has a lot of what I hoped, not everything that I feared, so he won't be too crazy. And he's kind of looking like he's an all-rounder's all-rounder. Myself, big SNK fan, I'm very happy with what I see, and even if you're not an SNK guy, I think Terry's going to have what you might be looking for. That all said, let's do what we usually do on this channel here. Let's rewind and let's start at the start and let's go through the whole trailer. So out of the gate, we're starting with the references here. These two dudes, they're brawling? Hey, I know these guys. Straight out of Street Fighter 2, the World Warrior intro. They're just stalking each other all these years later. And this isn't the only reference. Hey, Terry, he's showing up his way to Metro City, right? Coming a long way from South Town. And, you know, having a nice little gander at the wall here, right? We're having the Knockout Festival. What is this? So there you go, one good iconic opening deserves another, right? So the intro to Fatal Fury and also the intro to Street Fighter 2 to just showcase off Terry. And of course Terry, he's got to interact with our pal, everyone's friend, Johnny World Tour. And just like about everyone Johnny World Tour fights, Terry absolutely clowns on him. Johnny World Tour is here to learn, right? He's not here to win. And hey, like, introduction here, character model, everything about Terry looks fantastic. And then we dive into the gameplay and we got some fun stuff for you here. The Pow Pow Cafe and SNK Classic stage in both Fatal Fury and King of Fighters, and lots of references. We got Roxy and crew singing in the background. We got famed Joe Higashi just sort of hanging out as well. Even Blue Mary's kind of just chilling, so there's something for everybody here. And yes, the stage is called Pow Pow Cafe 6. There's been a lot of Pow Pow Cafes over the years. So now Terry. Funnily enough, Terry plays like Terry Bogard. We can see some of the normals. Terry normally comes from a 4-button game. Light punch, heavy punch, light kick, heavy kick. That's it. That's all, right? But we can make some pretty educated assumptions on some of these moves. This guy right here, this is traditionally a command normal for Terry. And the PlayStation blog has a bit on Terry, and he's got lots of special moves, lots of command normals. So I'm assuming this remains a command normal for him. Down forward, heavy punch is what it usually is. These guys, this looks like stand medium kick and stand heavy kick. Especially because stand heavy kick, you can see here there's quite a big punish counter effect on it. And we have fallback stun on the punish counter. And if this is stand heavy kick, well then stand D of the gods, I guess won't make an appearance in Street Fighter 6. Probably for the best. That normal's a little much for Street Fighter. Think Street Fighter 4 Bison stand heavy kick. This bad boy, probably stand heavy punch is my guess. Crouching heavy punch, traditional Street Fighter anti-air. Then we got this guy, somewhat evocative of the King of Fighters 2002 quick burning Dragon Punch motion punch move. Not quite, although actually we'll get there. We're going to talk about that. But this might be a target combo. Next up, we see Terry's just basic forward throw. He's a Street Fighter. There's no technique here. He just kind of beats the crap out of you. And you may be, Rooflemonger, doesn't he know the well-esteemed and known martial art of Hakyo-Kusaiken? And yes, absolutely, but Terry's a brawler first and foremost. And also, this throw leaves you real close. Close enough that, I think our boy Terry's probably going to have some throw loops. Welcome to SF6, Terry. And, of course, taunts. So Terry does the classic, hey, come on, But he's going to do it in English now. Like, not broken English, like a Japanese VA saying it. So that's going to be different from how it's usually been for the last few decades. Now, Terry and Power Wave. Terry's always been odd, and depending game to game how it works. Sometimes it's a projectile, sometimes it's just a big explosion, and they split the difference by doing both. So light and medium are projectiles, traditional projectiles. They go very low to the ground. Blanca is not sliding these bad boys. And the heavy version is just the big explosion. And the heavy version, that's just the explosion, as per like the press stuff, is apparently plus on block. So have fun with that. That'll be interesting. Now, Crack Shoot is in the game, man. I didn't believe Crack Shoot would be in the game, but apparently they're giving Terry basically every move he's ever had, so Crack Shoot's in the game and animates. It animates. It animates. I guess good predictive anti-air as well, it would look like. Now, next up is some of the interesting stuff. So, crouch light kick, crouch light punch, special. Okay, makes sense, makes sense. And this must be quick burning, right? And no, this is not quick burning. This is actually light punch burn knuckle, oddly enough. It got graduated into the burn knuckle moveset, I suppose. This is a quarter circle back move. And this is also the second hit specifically and overhead, apparently. So that means for burn knuckle, that means there's only a medium and heavy version of the move, which is good because there's a very real chance it's going to be like scissor kicks too. Safe when space and incredibly annoying, but if there's no light version, you can't do it up close at least. Here we see rising tackle. This is Terry's Shoryuken equivalent, and looks like it's anti-air invincible as you would expect from a Shoryu. And no, it is not a charge move. You can see here, Terry is standing first before he does the motion. So it is definitely a dragon punch motion. Traditionally, in the majority of the games Terry's in, it is a charge move like a flash kick. But like say in recent games like the King of Fighters 15, this is going to be a motion-based move. I already called it. Don't worry, Mai will have the charge moves. And of course, hey, we do have Burn Knuckle. This is either the medium or heavy version. Not sure which, but we only get two versions because the light version is quick burning. And basically, yeah, this is going to be your neutral skip move. If it's anything like traditional KOF, you can very much make it safe on block with the right spacing and just toss it out and be stupid with it. That's the Terry Bogard brand. Now, how about some links? Because he's showcasing off some links in this little section. Stand medium kick plus enough to link to stand light kick into power charge special move plus enough to link into jab and then stand jab and then rising tackle special move. You know, Street Fighter 6 being Street Fighter 6, these aren't going to be one framers or whatever. I'm sure it'll be easy enough. But it is a neat little sequence. And hey, power charge is its own move. I didn't believe it would be its own move, and they showed me up. It's definitely its own move, and important too. Now here, I'm not sure if this is just a target combo. I'm assuming it's a target combo. Crouch medium kick and heavy kick, maybe something like that. But this is a fairly deep cut. This is the fire kick. Let me tell you, when people think Terry Bogard's signature moves, nobody thinks about this moves. This is like from the Real Bout series, right? It is no power wave, it is no burn knuckle. So the fact that it's here, kind of deep cut. Also, it's a launcher, right? And special cancel into Crack Shoot, it's a juggle on. So there's definitely going to be some use for it. Like, if you get tapped low with that crouch medium kick, you're going to need some damage. Here we see Heavy Geyser, no projectile, as we discussed before. Jump over the fireball, get a punish. The one thing, maybe it's just a trailer, I don't know. His jump arc seems high, like Dalsum level high. So maybe that's because he's super jumping or something like that. I don't know. Maybe that's an SNKism they decided to give him. Now, here's a part that might trip up Street Fighter specific players. So, down forward heavy punch, special cancel into power charge, special cancel into fireball. How is he special canceling twice? You can't, that's not how Street Fighter works. Well, that may be not how Street Fighter works, but that's how Terry works. The power charge shoulder, famously in basically every other game, can special cancel into whatever. Like if you see the Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, gameplay mechanics, special cancels, and the special cancels are very much a thing. And Terry's bringing that flavor to Street Fighter now. Also, his level 2 super, the Power Geyser, big old explosion. And it gets fancier than this. We're gonna loop back around to this one here later in the trailer. And Terry, a nice guy, after exploding you with a lava volcano, he's like, oh, hey, my bad, I'll help you up. Next, we see Costume 2, and we knew what it had to be. It had to be the classic Garo bomber jacket look. just as iconic as this classic looks. So it's there, it's big, it's gonna be awesome. And here looks like another target combo, just like stand medium into stand medium, maybe, I don't know. Some sort of target combo, but here's the real sauce. Terry kind of going up and around. Wait a second. Isn't that like a King of Fighters roll? Well, no, not quite. This is Fatal Fury Terry, not KOF Terry. So he's switching lanes. Fatal Fury games take place on multiple lanes. Like the base lane you would expect in 2D Fighter, but also, you know, another plane, right? And you fight between the two lanes, and you can attack each other from those lanes and, you know, fight for positioning, either to avoid enemies or like try to sneak attack them. There's a lot of stuff going on there. And take a gander at this lane switch attack where he just punches you. Wouldn't you know it? That's exactly the stunt he's pulling here. Luke is invincible and he whiffs, he's out of the way, but he's switching lanes, going up and around you and trying to hit you on the other end. This is just going to be one of those deals. Sorry, Street Fighters. Terry's more used to advanced concepts you've never seen before. So like mid-screen invincible, like maybe cross-up too? I don't know. Whatever it is, it's downright silly, and I'm very glad they included it. So, very nice reference to Fatal Fury and its game mechanics. So next up, stand heavy kick, punish counter, gets the crumple, really cool. And our follow-up, some drive rush. This is Street Fighter 6 after all. Another punch to kick target combo, very high juggle, into the power dunk. Another Terry Bogard classic. He's a basketball player, just so you know. This is why he dunks so well. He hits you on the way up and just smashes your face in on the way down. So next up, a lot of stuff going on here. So we have a confirm into drive rush, into, you know, just more target combo stuff we've seen. And then EX crack shoot, which bounces like King of Fighters 15. And then Buster Wolf, the very infamous super, his most signature super, I would say. This is a level 1. So we know Power Geyser's a level 2, and this being a level 1 is an odd choice to me, because the signature of this move over the years generally is it goes very far across the screen very fast, right? And it's generally the ultimate caught you throwing a fireball move. And if it's a level 1, level 1s are not projectile immune in Street Fighter 6, right? So you can't use it for its most famous use case. So like, I guess it'll still be useful as like a raw reversal, but if he has rising tackle, you gotta assume the X version is invincible to that. So maybe it's a use case like Lily where it just does a lot of damage for a level 1. But making it a level 1, unless it's breaking the rules of Street Fighter 6, making it a level 1 means it's not an anti-projectile move, which is what it's most famous for, which is kind of odd. So going from that classic Street Fighter 6 situation, drive impact into drive impact, down forward heavy punch into what looks to be EX burn knuckle. So it's being based off the light punch version of the move, which I guess is fine for combo ability. And then we go back into level 2. We already saw this, but we didn't see this version before. We saw Power Geyser. This is Triple Geyser. This is usually considered one of his ultimate attacks. And funnily enough, it is actually his most ultimate attack, even though it's his level 2, because we're changing the rules of Street Fighter a little bit for Terry. So the regular level 2 is just Power Geyser. We already saw it earlier. It's just one big thing, right? So where are these follow-ups coming from? So if the move connects, you can actually burn 3 drive gauge bars, not your super bar, your drive gauge bars, right? And then you get double geyser, you get the follow-up. And then if you want to commit the 3rd bar, then you get triple geyser. So basically, you can have it be a regular level 2 for a big old hit, or you can have it be a level 2 with 3 drive gauge bars spent, or a level 3 with 3 drive gauge bar spent, right? So actually this makes this the single most expensive super in the game in a way, I suppose. And a super taking drive gauge, well, that feels like something they might implement into later characters down the road. Or maybe even different mechanics, right? So yeah, a customizable level 2 super that only scales up. Seems pretty cool. Also speaking of cool, we're gonna see EX Power Wave here, and it's the Fatal Fury 1 version. So 1 thing, travels across the ground. 2, it's very active. See it traveling across the ground here. Luke hits it once, it's still going. Drive rush after it, then it hits a 2nd time. And so this leads to some nasty man combos, looks like. Very sassy and interesting. It's going to be heavy on, you know, the drive gauge usage, right? That's 3 bars. But still, good corner carry, good screen carry. Looks like it's pretty solid. We keep comboing, crack shoot, and then we go in the rising tackle, then rising tackle into the level 3. And turning upside down, going into super cancel, another Terry classic, right? So level 3, very cinematic as you'd expect. We got a rising tackle. Then Terry's like, nah, we're gonna super flaming rising tackle. Going up with the flames. He's not hitting you with it, at least not yet. And then once you're sufficiently drilled in the face with his foot long enough, then big old punch to the gut and sending you on your way. And all things said, that's a pretty impressive trailer. If you didn't somehow know the name Terry Bogard, I think you'll be happy with what you're getting. Now, as for Terry, Terry launches September the 24th. And I know you're thinking, wait a second, September 24th, what day is that? And you're like, oh wait, that's Rooflemonger's birthday. And yes, it is my birthday. But also, it's the day that the Mortal Kombat 1 expansion Chaos Reign and 3 different Mortal Kombat 1 DLC characters drop on the same day as well. So it's gonna be a hell of a day. My birthday is gonna be a working birthday. Now, when's the next time we're gonna see more Terry? Well, probably pretty soon. So this is part of Gamescom, the reveal for Terry. And Terry will be playable on the Gamescom show floor. So over the next few days throughout the weekend, as Gamescom goes on, expect a lot of bunches footage to show up. If we get enough interesting footage, then we'll probably make a follow-up video as well for Terry. And yeah, all said and done, this is Street Fighter's first real guest character. I'm not talking like in-universe guests like Cody or whatever, that doesn't count. This is from a completely different company, completely different franchise, and it looks good. As an SNK fan myself, Terry is very faithfully represented here, and makes me also just really excited for Mai, because I play Mai. So I dabble with Terry, but I've actually mained Mai in many games. So if Terry looks this good, Mai's probably going to be really special as well. And all in all, just exciting times, man. This is going to be some good stuff. So make sure, stay tuned. There'll be more Terry Bogard footage and coverage in time, I'm sure. But until then, that is the footage and that is the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Street Fighter.